Alright, today we're going to be talking about box plots. Back in the day, they used to be called box and whisker plots if you ever see it on a worksheet, but today we just call them box plots. Um, Box plots are a fun way of compiling data, dealing with median. As you remember from a previous video, median is that middle number after we put them in order from least to greatest. So box plot helps us organize information so we can put our numbers in quartiles and organize it so we can figure out the median, what number is greater than the median, what number is less than the median, how close are they related, if there's correlations and the like. All right, so as you can see from the image, there are a lot of components to box plots. First, we have the median. Now we already talked about how to find the median. Put the numbers in order from least to greatest, and then find that middle number. Now there's two examples we're going to have to go over on box plots. One if you have a true median and one if you don't, but we'll go over that later. Then we have something called Q1, which is interquartile 1. So usually we'll just be calling it Q1 because interquartile 1, and we have Q3, which is interquartile 3. Kind of long to spell out, so we'll stick with Q1, Q3. Again, interquartile 1, interquartile 3. All right. We also have minimum numbers, which is the smallest number. We have a maximum number, which is the largest number. Now on this image here, we have outliers. We have an outlier on both the bottom and the top. Now outliers, I would say normally would be a little farther away than from the minimum and maximum, and just because they are listed on this table here, we won't always have a outlier, but we possibly might. So it depends upon the numbers. And then above you see the interquartile range. That's when you find the interquartile 3. Okay, let me see if I can figure this out. All right, interquartile 3 subtracted by the interquartile 1, and that's how you find your interquartile range. So let's see how this would look. Now, I have a set of numbers below, and from these numbers, we're going to make a box plot. Now, the first thing I need to do is I don't truly have an outlier. I know 3 is much smaller than 13, but 3 goes along with 4, 6, and 7. It's not that much lower than those numbers. And 13 is obviously not much larger than 10, 11, or 12. Now, on this, I've already put them in order from least to greatest, just to speed things up. If I hadn't, obviously we would need to go ahead and put them in order from least to greatest. But again, they are, so let's go ahead and do this. Line. Okay, that's my minimum. That's my maximum. Now, let's go ahead and find our median now. That would be the next step. So cross, 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 cross. Now I do have a true median. So my median is 9. Now, since I have a true median, I'm not going to use that number again. So I'm just going to cross it out. Went ahead and labeled it 9 as my median. Again, I didn't have two numbers in the middle, added them up. True median, so I labeled it on the box plot down below. I'm going to go ahead and cross it out because I'm not going to use that number again. Now I'm going to have to find my interquartile 1, my Q1. Sometimes some people call that the small median. To do that, I'm going to use the numbers down here or to the left. In the same way, just finding, again, like the small median, to find your Q1, you're going to cross, and I have two numbers in the middle. Now this one's easy. What's in between 4 and 6? It's 5, but I can add 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So put 5 right about, I think it should go right about here. Now we're going to find our Q3, the numbers to the right, my big median. So cross, cross, and I have two numbers in the middle. Since I have two numbers in the middle, again, this one's easy to find. What's in between 11 and 12, which is 11 and a half. But if I didn't know, I'd add 11 and 12, so I get 23. 23 divided by 2 is 11 and a half, and it should go right about here. 11 and a half. And then that's my Q3. That's my Q1. And there's my median. Q1, Q3. Here's my median. If I wanted to know the interquartile range, I would subtract 11.5, 11 and a half by 5, and get 6 and a half for my interquartile range. So again, on this example, odd amount of numbers. Had a true median, which was 9. And I can't use 9 again. I use the numbers to the left to find my Q1, small median. Use the numbers on the right to find my Q3, big median. And that's how you make your box plot. One more example. This time, as you can see, I've went ahead and put them in order from least to greatest. 5 and 20 are not outliers. Maybe a little closer, but definitely not outliers. So I'm going to go ahead and label them. 5 and 20. Now, let's go ahead and find our median. Press. Now this time I have two numbers in the middle. I don't have a true median, so I'm going to add them up. 10 plus 12 is 22. 22 divided by 2 is 11, and 11 should go, we'll say it's right around here. Since I didn't have a true median, I don't have any number to cross out. I'm going to use 10 here, and I'll put this in a different color. Blue to the right. Now, to find my Q1 and Q3, it's the same process. Again, just use the numbers to the left, Q3 to the numbers to the right. Again, since I didn't have a true median, I don't have any numbers to cancel out where I can't use anymore. So I'm going to cross. I have two numbers in the middle. 6 plus 9 is 15. Half of 15 is 7 and a half. We'll put 7 and a half right here. Cross and cross. Two numbers in the middle, 13 and 17. Add them up, you get 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15. And then we have our box plot. Here's my Q1, my Q3, and my median. If I wanted to know my interquartile range, I would subtract 15 by 7 and a half and get 7 and a half. Now, it's also good to know that I'm going to put in gray right here. This is 25% of the numbers. I'll put blue here. This is 25% of the numbers. On both box plots, from the median to the right to the Q3, that's 25%. This right here to the left is 25%. So the middle box, if you add them up, you get 50% of your numbers. That also means this would constitute 50% from the median to the maximum. That's 50%, or this is, oh, there's the bell, 25%. And from here to here, from the median to the minimum, that's 50%. So each small component represents 25% of the numbers given. Now the median, one last thing I'm going to say, the median is not usually exactly in the middle. Even though it's a middle number, when you have a given set of data, it usually doesn't fall exactly in the middle, and that's all right. Just put them in order from least to greatest. Find your median, and cross out any or before you begin, cross out any outliers. Put them in order from least to greatest. Find your median, then you find your IQ1 and your IQ3, small median and big median. And if the question asks, you can find your interquartile range. Don't forget, from the middle here is 50% of the numbers. This is 50% of the numbers. And once you find your IQ1, from your IQ1 to the minimum, that's 25%. And this is 25% of your numbers. All right. I hope this has helped. If you need any additional help or you have any questions, feel free to email me at jhewlett@leisd.ws. Thanks.